Ravi sat slumped outside his mud house, his body weary and his soul heavier than ever. The morning sun cast long shadows, but there was no warmth in it for him. He stared at the pile of official-looking letters beside him: loan rejections, failed applications, government notices. They were a brutal reminder of every step he had taken, only to be pushed back harder. His hands trembled as he picked one up, the same words repeated again. "We regret to inform you." Regret. That was all he ever heard. He had tried everything: farming, labor work, even walking miles to nearby towns to ask for help. But nothing ever worked out. His family's expectations had turned into quiet disappointment. His wife no longer asked how his day went. His son avoided eye contact. It was as if he had vanished from their hearts, even though he sat right in front of them. Tears welled in his eyes. What else was left to try? A whisper echoed in his mind. "You've done all you could. Maybe it's time to stop." The idea of giving up didn't scare him anymore. It felt like relief. But just as he buried his face in his palms, a soft breeze rustled the papers, lifting one up. On the back of it was a faint drawing, his daughter's scribble. It was of him, smiling, holding a plow, standing tall like a hero. He froze. That was how she saw him. And in that small, innocent sketch, Ravi found something he hadn't felt in months: worth. He wiped his tears, slowly stood up, and whispered to himself, "Not yet. I'm not done yet." The day dragged on with silence until the sound of slow footsteps crunched the dry earth. An old man, leaning on a wooden staff, approached Ravi's home. His clothes were simple, his face lined with stories, and his eyes calm like deep water. Ravi stood up instinctively, startled. "Can I help you?" he asked politely. The old man smiled. "Maybe I'm here to help you." Ravi was too tired to be curious. Still, something about the man felt trustworthy. He invited him to sit. The visitor didn't ask questions. Instead, he began to speak. "I once sat where you are. Same broken home, same dry land, same feeling of being invisible in the world's eyes," he said, looking out toward the fields. Ravi looked at him, unsure. "I once thought about walking away from it all, but something stopped me. A dream my son had. He told me I built a school under a mango tree. I laughed. But you know what? That dream became real." The old man smiled softly. "You don't know how close you are to your turning point when you're about to give up." Ravi blinked. His mind raced with thoughts. He hadn't told anyone about the school he had dreamed of starting in his backyard one day, for the village kids who couldn't afford to travel. "How did you—" Ravi started. "I didn't," the old man replied, already walking away. "But maybe you needed to hear it." Ravi watched the figure disappear into the mist. He felt a strange clarity settle inside him. The hopelessness was still there, but now so was something else: hope. Maybe giving up wasn't the answer. Maybe holding on a little longer would show him why it was worth it. The next morning, Ravi woke up earlier than usual. The night had been restless, the old man's words echoing like a prayer in his mind. He stepped outside, the soft light of dawn casting a silver glow on the dusty courtyard. His daughter sat under the neem tree, a pencil in hand and a stack of old papers before her. She looked up and beamed. "Papa, I made something." Ravi walked over, kneeling beside her. She held up a drawing, slightly crumpled but full of life. It was a picture of him, strong, smiling, planting a sapling. Around him were children, notebooks in hand, laughter on their faces. "This is your school, Papa," she said innocently, "like the one you told me in bedtime stories." Ravi felt his throat tighten. He had forgotten those nights, the dreams he once shared so casually. He never imagined she had been listening so closely. He studied the drawing. In her eyes, he wasn't a man defeated by the world. He was a builder, a dreamer, a father who still had something left to give. In that fragile piece of paper lay a powerful message. He still mattered. For the first time in weeks, Ravi smiled. Not because his problems vanished. They were still very real. But because something had shifted. His reason for trying was no longer about success or recognition. It was about love, legacy, and being the man his daughter believed in. He stood up, his hands firm, his back straight. Today he would start again, not for the world, but for the little girl who believed he could still change it. Sometimes we give up not because we're weak, but because we forget why we started. Ravi had just remembered.
If her story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this is Text to Heart, where stories speak to your soul and awaken your spirit.